Hello, my name is Yodaplay, and I want to address the question of why aren't there more black people on YouTube? I could ask the same kind of question. Why aren't there more white people in the NBA? Or for that matter, why aren't there more black people on Olympic swim teams? Why aren't there more white people on track and field, for the United States especially? You know, I think it boils down to what you're good at, what you're evolving to. Unfortunately, when it comes to YouTube, black people, for the most part, grown up on the inner cities. Access to high-speed internet connection just hasn't been there. But that is changing. Black people, take for example, this year, Super Bowl, 2 black coaches in the Super Bowl. Take for example, 20 years ago, hardly any black quarterbacks. Now, hey, we're making progress. We're getting good black quarterbacks that are agile, that are making the game funner than ever to watch. Black people these days, they're getting access to knowledge. Knowledge is power. As they get more and more integrated into the internet, you're going to see an explosion on YouTube of black people. Why? Because before, they were getting subjected to a poor education. Now, they can get an encyclopedia on the internet, they can get a dictionary on an internet, they can go to Wikipedia, they can ask any question, they can take online courses, they can get educated. And they are going places. So, Renetta, it's just a matter of time. We have black quarterbacks. We have black coaches. We have an NBA that is second to none. You got to give them a little time. You know, I'm reminded of the story that when blacks were slaves, the slave owners of the South used to bring a guy over from some island off the coast of the Americas that was one of the most successful slave owners. And they brought him over and they said, "How in the heck are you such a successful slave owner?" And this guy had a whole circuit. He'd go around talking to all of the slave owners. And he says, "You know what I do? One word: polarization. I pit people against people. And in this case, it was black people against black people. If you were a lighter skin, I pitted you against the blacker skin. If you were a young boy, I picked you against the older man. I put the women against the children, and the women against the men, and I was the mediator. I also played favorites. And when I did that, through the use of guilt and fear, I ruled. I was the mediator." And this gentleman would go around and he would tell all the slave owners that story. And they'd adopt the philosophy, and sure enough, they became successful too. You have to kind of relate that to America today. What kind of polarizations are going on? Who are we going to try to keep down? Who are we pitting against each other? We have got to realize that this is going on. Scarcity. That's another thing. Create scarcity. We have to realize one or two things. One, we are all a part of one race. The human race. We are all one. And there's more than enough. There is more than enough. You know, in the 1940s, we had a project. It was called the Manhattan Project. And from that project, we developed fission, fusion. You know what we realized? The smaller the increment of matter that you deal with, the more power you obtain from it. We have more than enough. We just have to go smaller. We have to get on the bandwagon for going smaller. Spread the word, spread the knowledge. There's more than enough. We're all one. Thank you.